Hi everybody, Mr. Venus again here, and now doing the follow-up video to the last video I did as promised, taking some select cuts out of the 3 gameplay videos for Space Marines, Eldar and Orks, and doing some running commentary over the top of them, just sort of elaborating on what I was mentioning earlier, covering a few things that I like, a few things that I don't like, and a few of the more technical aspects of the game that I am observing, and I'm wondering what Relic are doing about it. So straight off the bat we have the Space Marine gameplay video. Now I've cut this down to about 5 minutes. You can see here a pretty good selection of units, to be honest. The mouse cursor on the screen is not mine, and I have done a few cuts. You got Tacticals, Assault Marines, a Predator tank, and a Knight, and of course Gabriel Angelos in demonstration of the new mechanics, of the new base building, and of the new resource points. Now, because there's a cut straight to some action, take a look at those Assault Marines. They're running off into the shield there, running around, generally kind of getting lost. The force fields themselves, the buildings. Now see this group of Dire Avengers inside this force field? Look at the Tactical Marines, the way that they run around in circles. This will be important because you'll see them doing it over and over and over again through the video yourself. Another cut. Here we get another group, like some blob warfare Predator tank, some tactical, some assault marines, some scouts, and Gabriel joining in. Now this is where the pathfinding, again, like I mentioned in the earlier video, becomes an issue. I have no idea what is going on. I wish I could tell you. I have no idea what's going on. And that's them selecting to do a special attack. For some reasons the assault marines run to the other side of the map. You get to see, oh, this is not my cut, but you would have seen it. There's the Tactical Marines again running in circles. They don't know what they're doing. Gabriel going into attack, doing some appreciable damage. Another cut. More enemies. Now, here Gabriel's going to fight some Banshees. Now this is going to be really important, this little bit of film here. Not this, but see, these Wraithguard as they come in, look at how weak their shots are. And look at Gabriel, that was one of his 1 in every 5 attacks is a special attack. Currently fighting some Banshees. Now he's actually, look how much endurance he has. He's just tanking all of these attacks from not less than 9 Banshees and 3 Wraithguard. Again, the Tacticals just running in circles. Their pathfinding is broken. The guy actually has to select them and tell them to move somewhere else so they will not keep running around in circles stuck on that ledge. Gabriel, meanwhile, has tanked enough damage to kill 2 squads, 2 assault squads, 2 tactical squads, his scouts, and a Predator tank. Now here we see Gabriel take a grenade, a whirlwind shooting some missiles, doing very little damage, but that's okay. The different unit types, Gabriel doing his leaping slam attack, just to give a demonstration of some of the special attacks. Now see that, I don't know what ability that was, I couldn't tell, but did you see how it killed, like, it did enough damage to kill 2 full squads. It did kill 1 squad entirely, half killed another squad, and a quarter killed the 3rd squad. And there comes Solaria, comes down, another sort of special attack, special entrance. Here we get to see more grenades going in. I think it probably didn't do a hell of a lot of damage. I've seen the grenades do more in other videos, especially against the Orks. We get to see a little demonstration of how fighting skimmers, the whirlwind shooting some buildings, doing not that much damage. I suspect the whirlwind really is like an anti-light infantry sort of counter unit. It's not for killing bases, it's not for killing structures. Here we get to see another little clip there of the whirlwind shooting infantry, killing the entire squad. If it's light infantry, it'll kill them. And Solaria's special attack, which we would have seen in other videos, where she destroys things pretty much instantly with those rocket pods. They are pretty powerful. Here we go with the Eldar section of this video. This is taken from the Polygon gameplay video that they uploaded a while ago now. Can I just say that I really enjoy the graphics, like the graphical style. Now I know I said in my first video that it was kind of washed out and it wasn't very interesting, and I still feel like that's true, but if you just take a look at it, like the actual attention to detail, here we can see them running around, and they're moving a bit faster than Space Marines do or Orks do. I think that must be one of their core game mechanics. They're a lot more agile, and it comes into their hit and run gameplay, as you'll see with their battle focus, the little purple shield that they get that sort of allows them to tank damage first without actually taking hit points damage. Everyone's saying it's similar to Protoss from StarCraft, and they wouldn't be wrong. Here we can see that, you know, the little purple shield is basically going down instead of taking hit points damage. So that basically gives them 2 layers of hit points, which I guess would mean that you could heal hit points while taking damage from your battle focus, which would allow you to keep a more front-loaded combat sort of paradigm compared to other races which just take straight hit points damage and require healing permanently instead of just when they actually take hit points damage. Now here we get to see some rangers moving around. Now if you take a look at the little cursor icon, I guess that means that would go into the grass and become stealth. Rangers are a stealth unit by default, so it seems a bit unusual. You can see this massive visual radius that they have. That's good, because that's the first time we actually seen Rangers with a large visual radius. Previously they had a long range, but not a large visual radius, which kind of made them moot. Now here we can see the pathfinding on the tacticals again sort of screwing up, and I find that really odd. Macca's special attack doing quite a lot of damage again, like a core sort of, I guess, complaint or sort of note that I have with this game, that the heroes are really powerful and that generic units are just sort of expendable and kind of useless. Oh, here's something I'm really excited for. Take a look at this. Boom! Janezar. I'm a huge Eldar fan. I've got probably every single model Games Workshop has produced for Eldar. Everything, including Forge World ones. We get to see her in action, so I'm super excited to see a Phoenix Lord in action. She's really powerful in melee, and she's got some interesting ranged attacks, one of which is coming up, which you'll see in a second, and there's something else I want to point out. Now take a look. Again, super powerful attack, but when it comes back, it does a bit of terrain deformation. Now, there is no area terrain to the best of my knowledge, apart from grass or shields, but if there's terrain deformation, you might be able to knock down buildings. Here's a complaint I have. Take a look. Macca is tanking this damage from this turret. Now what's happened in the mission here is that they've actually failed to stop them activating the alarm in time. The turrets have gone online, and this turret is supposed to be, you know, I guess probably pretty scary, but take a look. Janezar gets within range and she can just stand there tanking that damage pretty much permanently. It doesn't even do enough damage to her to even warrant notice. Assault Marines coming in, doing some knockdown, some splash damage, I'm guessing, and well, unfortunately they're just not that much of a match for a hero, and Janezar's boomerang going out again at Triskel and killing just a whole swath of guys. Dire Avengers, Dark Reapers shooting a land speeder here. Now take a look at how quickly it's dying. That's important later, because what you'll see in just a second here is, okay, so this is a mission only building, I'm guessing. It probably doesn't really matter in multiplayer. It has quite a lot of health, but as I said, it'll become important later to look how quickly that land speeder died compared to something coming up. Again, the graphical fidelity of the game is really on point. Like, I love the art direction, I just don't really like how sort of washed out and faded out the units get when they're compared against the terrain. Janezar using a Triskel. Now this Dreadnought here, I've watched this video several times. This Dreadnought is going to be important because look at his pathfinding. For reasons unknown to me, he just turns around and walks off. Now, I don't know if this is part of the mission, if this is by design, like he's going to like kite you back into range of the troops and that this is just part of the mission, or if this is his generic AI that will be present in multiplayer as well. So it's a little confusing. Now that Dreadnought went down pretty quick. He was getting shot with anti-tank as well as getting hit by the Wraith Lord. But it is going to be another bit of footage just in a second. We get it. Now here's some voice acting. We'll hear it. This voice acting has been a common complaint throughout all three of the videos. People don't like the voice acting. Now up on screen is some base building. We get to see the Eldar moving their base from one position to another, just like the original game. but there's going to be some other important points to look at here. Now you'll see that the building he's got selected is, I guess it's the Soul Shrine or the Soul Shrine equivalent, because it contains unit upgrades. So it's a generic tech structure. You build upgrades from that as opposed to upgrading each individual unit like what you did in Dawn of War 2. These upgrades are applied globally to the army, which I think is probably a positive thing. Here we have the Bone Singer. Now take a look at this. Look at how this building sort of wraps around. I'm guessing you can manually adjust it, but some of it's automatic, and I think that's interesting. I don't know if positioning like that will become important. Now here is a bit of footage I'm going to repeat twice. So you got obviously Jane Czar's Triskel, and it actually got stopped by the shield. If you go back and look at that, you'll see it got stopped by the shield. But here we go again with the pathfinding breaking. And I said before that the pathfinding was the single greatest issue that I had with Dawn of War games. Dawn of War 1, Dawn of War 2. All suffered the same problem. Again, the Dreadnought just walks away. Another thing here, look how far away he's attacking that guy. He's like 6 or 7 times outside of his actual physical reach, going in behind. And now look at this. Look at how much damage that Dreadnought is taking. So those Shadow Spectres, the flying guys, are dedicated anti-tank units. But they took ages to kill him. Here we go again, just for a second look. Look at that Dreadnought's range. He's still attacking him. So this Wraithlord's taking massive damage. And then the Shadow Spectres come in, and that Dreadnought would have about a quarter of his life left or so. And it's how many seconds? 6 seconds? 8 seconds? 9 seconds of constant fire from 4 squads of Shadow Spectres to kill him. I find that a little odd. Alright, here we are, the last section of the video. This is IGN's Ork gameplay video that they uploaded about 2 weeks ago. It's not narrating what's going on here, you can go watch the original video if you want to. What I want to point out is how in this video you sort of see the same similar problems and good parts turning up in this video as it was in the other ones. Like, again, the graphics are crisp. I still feel like units need to stand out from the ground a little bit more, but I guess it's probably all of like the extra tangential graphical effects like specular lighting and fog and particle effects. So carrying on from that, like you can see, look at all the particle effects. It kind of like makes already difficult to see units kind of fade out into just the visual noise. Here they're coming up. Oh, look at these grenades. So I'm wondering if this mission was deliberately nerfed somehow. Okay, so first of all, what you'll see is that the Eldar grenades don't do that much damage, and that the Ork grenades don't necessarily do that much damage. So they'll knock back on a unit with battle focus, but if you throw the grenade against a unit with no battle focus, it kills them almost instantly. Like, it'll wipe an entire squad. You see it there, it kills an entire squad. Here we see Gorguts doing some of his grapple attacks, and coming up will be one of his whirlwind spinning claw attacks. Again, you know, he's tanking. He will be tanking at some point an entire army's worth of damage. So this spinning attack itself actually deflects. But here you can see a grenade gets through and knocks him out and stops that. I think that's a good thing. Some more demonstration of skimmer combat. So these Death Copters, they actually have a ground-based attack where they can run along the ground and damage units in a long line. We've seen similar mechanics elsewhere with the Wraithlord in the previous video, but it's a similar thing, just mounted on a much more agile platform that can move over. And finally we get up to this section where the Orks are killing off the main Eldar base, but what I really want to point out is the graphics. The graphics look nice, but it's probably a little too visually dense. Like I said in my original video, how all of the particle effects and the smog and the smoke and like all the lighting and the bloom and stuff kind of gets in the way of itself, and I guess it complicates the image. They're trying to turn this into an e-sport, and I just don't know if that much visual density will work, because in my experience with esport players, the first thing they'll do is create mods to get rid of those particle effects. Esport players rely on responsiveness and clarity, and that is two things that this particular little gameplay section demonstrates there is not. There is not clarity. Thanks for watching, guys, and when some updates come out of Relic, we'll make another video and we'll talk a bit more about some new footage they've got to show off. February 18th, 19th will be some more footage, and hopefully we'll see some new stuff, or just even some rehashing of the Space Marine or Eldar gameplay. See if they've made any improvements to it, any sort of improvements or tweaks to the graphics or to the gameplay in general, and number one concern, if they've improved the pathfinding, because throughout this video you can see I've demonstrated over and over again that the pathfinding is broken, and that's really sad because I'm super pumped for this game. Like, conceptually I'm super pumped for it, but I'm seeing the pathfinding and I'm just shaking my head because it's always been there. It's something that's wrong with their pathfinding algorithms. They are just terrible, and they clearly haven't improved them that much over previous iterations of this game, and I think that's really sad because it is a major complaint I have, and I know a lot of other people look at it and just think it's ridiculous that a company that's now 3 or 5 games in using the same engine can't fix the pathfinding. I think it's something they need to work on. I really do. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. Peace.